Today we're going to do a little video on our feet and a bit on how that connects with the rest of us. Our feet are super important, and today most people, myself included, have lost touch with our feet. We have so many muscles, so many bones in our feet, and we barely use them because they're in shoes all day, kind of restricted. So it can feel really good to get your feet out, get them moving again, get back in touch with them, and that helps us bring more stability into the rest of our day and the rest of our body. So really by strengthening our feet and getting better in touch with the ground, we can help our posture, we can help our other joints also move a little better. So this is quite important, and we'll just do a few little exercises that you can also do anytime throughout the day, wherever you are. So we're going to start in standing. If standing is not accessible, then you can also do most of these things in sitting. It's really mostly about getting a relationship with your feet and moving them around a little bit. So feel free to adapt any of these into sitting if that is better for you. For here we'll be in standing, and we're simply going to start. Find a comfortable position where your feet are about hip width apart. Let all of your feet, or every part of your feet, be in touch with the mat or the floor. And then let your spine rise up straight so you get a little taller. And then you can close your eyes, and we're going to bring our attention into our feet. So feel the bottoms of your feet. See if you can feel the skin on the bottom of your feet touching the ground beneath you, whatever that ground is. And then we're simply going to rock a little bit side to side. If you're in sitting, you can just shift your weight a little bit. Maybe feel the different parts of your feet as they touch the floor or the surface beneath you. And you can shift your weight from side to side, front and back. And really see if you can notice how your feet, these different small parts of your feet, move to keep you supported no matter where you put your weight. And you make little tiny circles. So your feet want to support you. They move so that you can stay stable. And then coming back to center, finding your center, opening your eyes. And we're going to start by waking up our toes a little bit. So we're going to lift our toes up towards the sky. See if you can spread them wide and place them down. And then again, lifting them up, spreading them wide and placing them down. And once more, lifting them up, spreading them wide and placing them down. And then from here, add a challenge. See if we can lift our big toes off the floor. Just the big toes. And then lower them down. 2 more times, lifting up, lowering, lifting, and lowering. And then lifting all of your little toes, keeping your big toes on the floor, and lowering them down. Lifting them up, lowering them down. And once more. Beautiful. And if this is hard, it's not surprising. It was hard for me when I started doing it. It's hard for most people because we don't really use our toes the way we're meant to anymore because they're bound up in shoes most of the day. So don't be surprised, don't beat yourself up. It's totally normal. And if you do this for a little while, once a day, or when you think of it, you'll start to get that mobility back, that motion back in your feet, and then you'll start to feel your toes a little more and the ways you can use them for stability throughout the day. Okay, so next little stretch to bring into our feet, we're going to take a ball. And I have here, this is actually not the best ball because it's a little soft. A tennis ball is great, baseball is great, softball even. But something that provides a little bit more stability than this ball does, but is about this size. Bigger or small, a little bigger or smaller is fine. And we're simply just going to roll our feet along it. And this should actually be like kind of a nice massage on your feet. And it can help stretch out your toes. Doing this, maybe in the evening you're watching TV and you spend even just 5 minutes rolling your feet on a ball, you're going to have some happy feet afterwards. And so one thing to do is then like leave these kind of props throughout your house. They don't need to be super conspicuous, but maybe like near the sofa in a drawer you keep a tennis ball, and so you can pull it out when you're just sitting on the couch and spend 5 minutes massaging your feet. And so roll it over and massage the left, stretching out your toes. Feeling into the different parts of your feet. And then we'll put that to the side. Bring our feet back and touch the floor. And now we're going to do a little bit of bouncing. It helps really, really release our soft tissues. And so we carry stress and tension in our body, and that can really reside in our tissues and make us tighten. And shaking and bouncing is one of the best things we can do to release that. So this is one of my favorite things to do. I do it almost every day. I do it in most of my classes. If you're sitting, one thing you can do is just practice pressing the floor away from you. You won't get this full bouncing effect, but it's still a worthwhile practice just to press the floor away and see what you can relax while you press. So follow me and see if you can adapt it to your needs. So feet in touch with the floor, and then we're simply gonna, as if you're pressing the floor away with your feet. Just like, yeah, you're pressing the floor away. But then let everything relax. So just your feet and lower legs, just the muscles needed to press are working, and everything else relaxes. See if you can let your hands be heavy, your shoulders be heavy, your knees, even your neck and your face. And then you can stay at this tempo or whichever tempo you're at. And if you like, you can always come up onto your toes, pressing just the balls of your feet away. And then if you like, you can also really bounce. And see if you can keep this kind of flopping, relaxed part in the rest of your body. And then close your eyes if it helps. And then come back down. And come to standing once more, or sitting. Close your eyes for a moment and just see how you feel. Notice how your whole body feels inside. Mine feels great. Hope yours does too. So then let's open our eyes, and we're just going to do one last thing to bring us up to stand straight and tall, and that is exactly where your feet are. See if you can just shift your weight slightly into the outer edges of your feet. So we want to bring a bit more weight into the outer edges and maybe into our heels just a little bit. It shouldn't really be noticeable. You're not going to notice the movement in my feet very much, but notice what happens. For me, when I shift the weight there, that lifts my whole inside, the inner part of my body up, and helps me stand a little taller. So just see if maybe you can even do this a few times, rocking your ankles in, letting them soften, and then bringing your weight towards the outer edge of your feet. And maybe one more, softening kind of, and then shifting your weight to the outer edge of your feet, and standing up straight. And that's it. I hope you have fun, and I hope you can integrate these tiny movements into your day. Just while you're standing, waiting in line, waiting for the bus, sitting around. Maybe think about your feet a little bit, maybe stand up a little taller. Thank you. See you next time.